Hey kids, it's time for another exciting episode of KWJUDAS. This is Ben Scribner of The Howl, and also we have, as a guest, with Mr.
Wells Anderson.
Wells Anderson?
Yep.
Indeed.
Good to see you.
So, you were formerly of the band known as The Howl.
Yes, sir.
And The Howl has been on our show before.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So, we can maybe leave a link to that episode, if I can remember to, just so people can still get a taste of it. Unless you'd rather me not, unless it's in the past.
No,
and
that'd be great.
Word. Yeah, that was a fun band live.
Hell yeah,
I agreed.
It's great to hear.
Thanks.
And this sort of stuff, how long has it been since the Howl's been broken up?
I believe it was 2018.
2018.
I
So
think
like 5 years.
Yeah, Ben had left for like I think we tried to keep it going for a year with a new bassist, but just didn't work out. And then I don't know. Chase became a little less dependable, and then so did Steven because he was starting to date a girl, and
Well, he got a kid now.
yeah, I think he's got two.
Two? Jesus.
Right.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Right. And a life does happen, though.
Yeah. Shout outs to Steve and other guy.
Yeah.
Steven Peterson. One of the greatest drummers.
Oh man, what a great drummer! I've been looking back at those old videos and stuff like that, and just being like, damn, he could flow. I couldn't believe it.
Word. Do you guys have any recordings of the Howl?
I mean, the ones that we sent you, I think, or at least one. Yeah, that's one of the 5 songs that we have.
Oh, word.
The one we just listened to.
Yeah.
That was originally a Howl song?
Mm-hmm.
That was a throwback.
Word.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's cool. So are they on that recording?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Word. Well, shout outs once again to both of those motherfuckers.
Yep.
Chase and Steven.
So since then, how long have you guys been playing together? Just ever since, or
No,
Have-
it's only been within the last year or so.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of reconnected. Started with just a fascination about petroglyphs, and just kind of kept going from there.
a fascination about petroglyphs?
Yeah,
That's what got this whole thing going.
kind of. Yeah, I think.
Actually,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Because he had told me about a theory he had, and I thought it was really cool. And then I started doing research on it and like hearing different podcasts about it. And
What's the theory?
Petroglyphs. More like a calendar, a way to track shadows. So as the sun rises and sets, it casts shadows on the cliff sides, and the shadows will cross over the petroglyphs. So I believe they were pecking and chasing the shadow along the wall to track time.
That would make sense.
Interesting. And you guys were just like, that's such a great idea. Let's make a fucking band about it.
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah, kind of. And
Oh.
just like, I'd seen, there's like very common around the world petroglyphs. There's these designs that are just unmistakably similar
Right.
across the planet. And the fact that we live in a state that has a lot of petroglyphs, we can go see them and try to figure out, like if it's astronomical or if it's just like a fun little carving that they did to like mark pathways maybe.
Huh.
Maybe along like a river, because there was a lot more flowing water a few thousand years ago than there is now.
For sure.
So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was actually just recently reading about this one petroglyph that showed up in, several different ancient cultures, none of which could have possibly communicated with each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to describe. It sort of looked like two branches above its head with lines going outward.
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe like
It's-
an angel or something.
I think it's like a
Like the-
shaman kind of thing.
Or the stick man.
Yeah, something like
Kind
that.
of like that guy.
Yeah, exactly. That.
Sort of, but it still had
What
Like these
what
big-
kind of look like wings almost.
big
Oh.
or branches or wings or something coming out
Coming
above
out
its
his
head.
Yeah, I think
And that
that's
symbol doesn't have anything above its head.
And all three of these cultures that he's talking about did them thousands of years apart from each other and completely opposite parts of the world.
Right? And there's a ton of those. So it was like either there was an understanding globally of this symbolism, or the symbolism comes from like the astrology or the sun, something that everybody on the planet like has access to,
Word. That's cool.
yeah.
Interesting.
And so like that design has been actually replicated a few thousand times now. There's a
The
lot of,
one on that
yeah. So basically,
little
what
instrument there.
they find it is a huge amount of aurora borealis and like the sun discharge and stuff like that. This corneal mass ejections, something like that, and it just sends all this plasma into our atmosphere, and as it rotates, it gets faster and clumps together. And by some weird coincidence, it happens to take shape of that, like a man with 2 dots circling around it. And and they were just, I watched something that just said, I think his name was Dr. Shocked or something like that. Shock. And he just talked about and gave a link to all these different ways that they've been able to replicate it in a lab using plasma discharges and sucking them together. I don't know how they do it.
That's cool.
Yeah, they've just been able to do that. So the theory just stems from maybe that's just what everybody was seeing in the sky. Maybe our sky was a lot more active than it is now.
Yeah, really.
Right.
Well, and in most places where we live now, you can hardly see the night sky compared to how they used to be able to see. You just travel up, a couple mountains over and step out and look at the night sky, and it'll blow your mind if you've never left the city.
Oh, man. And we took a trip. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. My bad, man.
Oh, you're good.
We took a trip, my wife and I and some of her family. We were down there for like some bullshit family reunion. And so we left because it's down in Enoch, Southern Utah.
Word.
And they have property. Some of her cousins have property in Escalante, and so we just went to Escalante.
Escalante's a fun little place.
Yeah. So got a lot of galaxy pictures there.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah, it's
Milky Way is wild when you're out there.
Oh yeah, it's like can't even see it when you're in Salt Lake.
No. Mm-mm. And we got to like halfway to Torre, which is a total blackout zone, and it was a perfect night. There was absolutely no sound in the desert. It was crazy, and we just turned the car off and let our eyes adjust and laid in the road and just waited for cars to come because you could hear them like a mile out.
Mm-hmm.
So we just laid there for a long time, just staring at the Milky Way and seeing meteors go past. It was crazy.
Word. That's cool.
Definitely. But yeah, we got back together talking about this stuff, and he showed me King Gizzard.
Oh, yeah.
You guys know them?
Yeah, I've heard a little bit of them. King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard.
Yeah, Lizard Wizard. Reversed it.
Yeah.
Word.
Same thing, pretty much.
Talking a lot about that symbolism, whatnot, and then got back to music.
They were okay, from my opinion.
Yeah, this guy, he has got a thing for him, dude.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
It
Word.
bores a lot of people.
Well, maybe we should play a song.
Yeah, let's hear a couple of them.
Not from King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard, though. This is another song. So when I introduce these, do I still just say from Ben Scribner or
Scribner?
Scribner? Or do you guys have a thing for your?
No, it's just we haven't gotten anything. We're just playing, seeing what we can come up with. See if we can get something going.
Nice.
Ben Scribner and Company.
That works. Matt and Ben.
Yeah,
Matt and Ben. That works. Matt and Ben here on KWJUDAS, Gumption City Radio.
Wanna melt away like lava from a stone. I knelt and prayed for this life to be my own. To be saved is to find a place called home. You say I'm brave to unbury this old bone. Well, if you can't stand the heat, then get out the kitchen. The wolf eats the sheep. Well, no one's listening. Everything that you believe is a contradiction. All you need to do is to quit your bitching. that you missed out on. You allocate the ones who benefit your con. It's no mistake, you go from John to John. You're so opaque, your will ceases to respond. Well, if you can't stand the heat, then get out the kitchen. The wolf eats the sheep. Well, no one's listening. Everything that you believe is a contradiction. All you need to do is to quit your bitching. Back again, like so many times before. You only want pain for you to settle the score. You smash your brain on a sealed up door. You only feel shame rising from the cracks in your floor. Well, if you can't stand the heat, then get out the kitchen. The wolf eats the sheep. Well, no one's listening. Everything that you believe is a contradiction. All you need to do, all you need to do is to quit your bitching.
Gangsta, gangsta.
Yeah, I like that. Sounded really nice, guys.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, I thought you were referring to me saying gangsta, gangsta.
No.
I like that.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I could do it more if you want me to.
Oh, you can do it all you want.
say it again, but
Gangsta,
slower,
gangsta.
dude.
Word. This gangsta shit. So, who is doing what in these recordings?
So that one was Matt, both guitar and vocals.
Yeah.
And you weren't even in it?
Not this time. We kind of threw together a couple of recordings last minute.
Yeah.
Word. Did you just throw these recordings together, like, just
Like
for
that.
this show?
Yeah, in the last
Yeah.
week.
Dope.
We were
That's hell yeah.
we were ready for a live show, but this works too.
Yeah, sorry. There was not necessarily a miscommunication, but his band, The Howl, has been on this show before, back when we did live shows. And obviously, we're doing things a lot differently than we used to.
It's fair. I just assumed.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was like a day or two before the show when it's like, oh, by the way, none of it's the same.
And we need all your music recordings.
Yes.
And you guys did it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people would
Figured
have just
that's-
been like, oh, we can't do this.
Yeah. I mean, it's just our responsibility at some point. So,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And we could have still done an acoustic show, and he did mention possibly doing a song or two at the end. Were you guys still wanting to do that?
I don't know. It's up to you, man.
If you want to. I mean, we have enough music.
Yeah.
Do you have your instruments with you?
Yeah, we brought it just in case.
Word. Well, I mean, I don't see why not. What do you think, Wizard?
That'd be pretty cool.
All right. Well,
If we're
going to
do that too, then we should play a couple more songs and get some of the recordings they brought out of the way before we run out of time too.
Word. So yeah, we're gonna have an exclusive live performance here at the end of the episode here. But until then, here's a couple of non-live little ditties for you. KWJUDAS, Gumption City Radio.
Something tells me that you need to know why I'm leaving. I don't wanna go. My past and old dreams are tearing my soul, and it's weak and broken, so I guess it needs growth. Girl, I love you, you're still under my dreams. Not as happy as it seems. I'm down on my knees. I don't believe that there's another for me. But I'm trying to push you away. I'm sorry. I know you're doing the same, so I'll let you go. Don't know why I'm this way. In love with the pains, I still love you the same. Can't contain this, I'm trying to breathe. Your love was shameless, you're so good to me. I miss your kisses as I'm trying to sleep. And I hope you're happy now that you're not with me. 'Cause girl, I love you, you're still under my dreams. Not as happy as it seems. I'm down on my knees. I don't believe that there's another for me. But I'm trying to push you away, and I'm sorry. No, you're doing the same, so let you go. Don't know why I'm this way. In love with the pain, 'cause I still love you the same. Yes, I still love you the same. Trying to push you away. I'm sorry. Know you're doing the same, so I'll let you go. Don't know why I'm this way. Love with the pain, 'cause I still love you the same. And I hope these feelings will change. Switch over, but my heart is taking the stage. It's stealing the show. I can't put passion away. I can't let go and never be here again. I'm taking it slow, as if I push you away. if you still love me.
Check that out. Got this with the false.
Psyched you out.
Got it.
Did you do that on purpose?
Not quite, but I'm glad it worked.
It did, because I almost fell for it. I didn't, but almost did. What the fuck was that? Anyways, so that was all you?
Mm-hmm.
Word. So on how many of these recordings do we have that's both of you guys?
I mean, it must have just been that title track, or the one that we came in on.
That first song.
The first song? Well, then it's a good damn thing that we're going to have a live thing at the end then.
I agree.
Should be fun.
We are approaching, not quite, I was going to say we're at the middle of the show. But let's play another song, and that'll put us at the middle of the show, and we can have a Wizard's Useless Fact.
Oh, yeah.
KWJUDAS, Gumption City Radio.
As above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. The opposite of courage is not cowardice, it's conformity. So don't waste your time on ideology. Be a beggar, be a thief, be someone who turns a smile at grief. Just don't base your life on one belief. Man walks into the world and sees a problem that must be fixed, but he's not willing to take the risk. He sits and talks of what should and should not be. Well, that's wasted time on theology. Just look around and take in what you see. That's all you need. The opposite of courage is not cowardice, it's complacency. So don't you waste your time on ideology. I sit and worry of what the world is today, but this is just the game we need to play. I have this mind and this body with me every day. I decide what it gets to do and say. I answer to myself in every single way. As above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. Yeah, as the universe, so the soul.
KWJUDAS Gumption City Radio. We are at the top of the hour, the top of the half hour. We're at the midway of the show.
We are halfway through the show.
And that means it's time
Behold.
for a wizard's useless fact.
So, don't know why, but research shows that you are 6.7% more likely to die on your birthday than any other day of the year.
Wait, what?
What was that percentage?
6.7% more likely to die on your birthday than any other day of the year.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's also useless.
Everyone's just sitting there thinking about it.
It's like so.
Yeah, that's the point of the useless facts, is to be like, so fucking what?
Yeah, right. It's a fact, though. Like, I use facts.
That's interesting.
I want to know now, though.
Yeah.
Is it just celebration?
I have no idea. I didn't, I see the facts and I'm like, huh, that's cool. I would imagine it's from something like that, though,
Yeah.
Alcohol poisoning or something.
I mean, you're like 75% more likely to get into a car wreck within a mile of your home.
Right.
That's definitely true.
I think I've heard that one.
Yeah.
And in the
I
parking
wasn't
lot,
sure
right?
what the name was, or what the number was.
Yeah, that number is just, it's up there, though. It's like way up.
Well, that's because most of your driving is done within
Exactly. That was my point, is most people
radius.
have the grocery store and the gas station within that mile radius. So most of your driving is done within a mile. So that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
I mean, you're not going to get in a wreck miles and miles away because you're not usually that far away.
Oh,
I can't use numbers right now.
I mean, I live in a busy intersection, and it's, I've witnessed like 3 or 4 car wrecks now, just being there.
Dang.
I never get to witness the car wrecks.
I know.
I always see them after they happen.
I didn't for a while, and then all of a sudden I started seeing them everywhere.
Just from where you moved to then.
Yeah, like the first one I saw, dude, that's a wild story.
Well, let's hear it.
I mean, it's nothing special, but it's just like,
His mic's cutting out.
oh, my bad.
Is it still out?
Anyway,
No, it's out. That's,
There we go.
hello.
there we are.
Okay.
Technical difficulties, folks. We're back.
Just the first car wreck I ever saw, I saw this Ford just fly through a red light, obviously, and take out this minivan. Just the front end. T-bone the front end, just destroyed the entire...
Crazy.
Anyway, he was up on the median, and he popped out, and, like, I was not expecting to see a little person. But that's who came out of the car, and yeah, that was wild. Just
Pretty
being
wild.
Just the whole circumstances, and I was just like in complete shock. I didn't know what to do.
I guess I forgot. I have actually witnessed one car wreck, and it was pretty interesting because had the person I left with not forgot their ID and had to go back into their house because we were going to get beer, we may have been right in the path of their destruction, because this person was clearly on something, and probably more than just alcohol. And as we were before we were about to cross this street, this little minivan comes and cuts us off, and it scrapes across another car, totally just, sideswipes one car, flips a bitch, and then just wraps itself around a fucking pine tree in the middle of the yard across the street. And there's smoke just billowing inside the car and out. But the car was just full of black smoke, so you couldn't see anybody in there.
Yeah.
And we walk up to the front door because we're just like, is this person okay? I mean, what anybody would do. And through the black smoke, we see the sole of a shoe kick the window several times and break the window.
No.
And then this little Mexican jumps out, and we're just like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "No, okay," and just ran off.
Yeah. Damn. That is wild.
Yeah, it was hilarious. They
Just
later
left
caught
it?
him, and he stole the car. It wasn't his car.
Okay.
But it reminded me of when Schlongbob and Meredith, when they got their car stolen. That's what it reminded me of.
It reminds me of an incident that I had where me and my ex-wife were driving in the back roads that go from Springville to Provo. It's a lot of fields and the sewer plants out there. And we were heading home that way, and we come across this like bedraggled-looking Mexican kid that looked like someone had just beat the holy living shit out of him. And he asked for a ride to the truck stop, which was like a mile back up the road. So we're like, yeah, sure, get in. We drive him up there, and then we go start heading back home. And when we get up to the sewer plant, which is only like a half mile from where we live, there was this car that had crashed through the fence and was half hanging in one of the... Oh, we lost everything. Or is it just the sound?
It's just...
Oh, that. Yeah, there was this car half hanging out of one of the sewer tanks. Oh, like the open-topped tanks. And it turns out it was that kid. Like, he had stolen the car and crashed into the sewer plant.
Really?
And when we got there, the cops were there, and we're like, I think we know who did it. We just took him to the truck stop.
Yeah, I could smell him out.
Yeah. Well, no, so the car didn't actually get into it. It was like halfway.
Oh, really?
Like, it wasn't actually, it somehow was like teetering on the brink of being in that open sewer tank.
That is wild.
Yeah.
This is almost a shitty day.
Almost a really shitty day.
Shitty day, I get it. Well, those are kind of scary stories. I mean, being in a car wreck is scary. But after this next song, maybe we'll get into some real scary stories.
Sounds like a good
Because
idea.
it is Halloween series. It's the season. Thank you all for listening. KWJUDAS, Gumption City Radio.
Everyone seemed to laugh inside.
fa 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 fa. All right, kiddies. Well, strap on your safety helmets, 'cause it's time for some ghost stories. Actually, he said he has a Wendigo story. And that perks my curiosity.
I've got a couple of Wendigo stories come up from the Nahanni Valley up in Canada, from the First
Really?
Nations. And the Wendigo has kind of changed over time. But these stories come from an outpost up in the Nahanni Valley, from the guy watching the outpost.
Word.
His first encounter was a group of Inuits in the dead of night pounding on the gate, where they were afraid one of their members was turning into a Wendigo.
Really?
And they came crying, and he came and talked to them, and they were requesting for rifles so that they could end him and dispose of him before he turned into a Wendigo.
Crazy.
And
Huh.
after a lot of back and forth, because he was rather new in the area and on this post, he came to the conclusion that that was the best outcome, to not cause too many problems. And so that is just what they did. And the guy that they thought he was turning into a Wendigo was bringing it up himself. He was afraid that he was becoming Wendigo. He could feel it coming on. And so he had asked his brothers to take care of it. And they did that night.
That's crazy.
God damn.
Then a couple weeks later, it might have been a couple months, but not too long after that, he had another experience where he came across an old lady out trail riding and patrolling the area. And he described her as having kind of like a grayish, palish skin. And there was no emotion coming from her eyes. And they come up to her, ask her if she's doing all right. She was very frail, just skin and bones. And she said that she was fine. They offered her food, but she wouldn't eat it. And they offered to give her a ride, and she took the ride. They ended up coming to a local village where they asked if they could watch over her or help her get wherever she was going to, because there was obviously a communication thing going on. And so after a bunch of talking, they decided to. And that night, when they were all in the tent eating together, the old lady was just kind of staring at people, and mostly the kids, and mostly this large plump kid in particular. And it was weirding everybody out. And the village elders, they stepped out, and they were talking, and he was hearing this in the distance. They were escalating their voices, and they decided that they couldn't trust her. So they tied her up into another tent till they could figure out what to do about it. And that's when they went in to talk, and he joined the village elders. And apparently with no emotion, she said, "Yes, I am Wendigo." Just didn't deny anything. And so they decided they had to take care of the Wendigo like they do, which is you're supposed to cut the Wendigo up completely, burn the body, and make sure everything burns 100% before you put the fire out. And so that night, that's what they did. And while they were doing it, he had a very vivid description. They had a fire lit. It was dark and in the forest, and so you get those crazy shadows with the trees. Kind of in autumn time, those skeleton trees.
Right.
Casting crazy shadows with a slight breeze dancing. And they all got ready, painted up, dressed up to make it as ceremonious as possible. And then they started. And so they killed her and then chopped her head off. And out of fright, the man holding the head, because of the expression on the head, tossed it behind him, and her hair got caught in the branches. He said it was the most terrifying sight he ever saw was that lady's face hanging from the branches, just staring at them.
Crazy.
While they finished chopping up the rest of the body and burning it. And yeah, it's wild.
So, how did you know this person?
Oh no, I read about this.
Okay.
He kept a very thorough journal since he was in command of that outpost.
Do you remember the name of who it was?
No, but I could get back to you.
Uh-huh.
But look up the Nahanni Valley, or the Headless Valley, and you'll find it.
Word. Yeah, that was some pretty good scary stories there. Let's have another song, and we will be right back with you, folks. Thanks again for listening. This is Gumption City Radio.
Well, they say I let down all my hair and the ladies. A few drugs, maybes never escalate me like this whiskey from the top shelf where ask money buy me. Strange from all the pain that keeps me running in these circles like a scared pup locked up in fences of defenses. I could dig a hole or jump now, load my soul, or maybe just give up. I don't believe in love. Can anyone excite me or invite me to move on and rise above, where I can look down at the cold town, waiting for the Yahweh sound. Yeah, the dead man singing. I've seemed to let go to the contract of my soul. There is no surprise when there's an outline to my life. It's rolling way too long out on this artless road. Just give me some time to live it. Life's sublime. Tell me how you doing, sit, Mr. Rock can be your mystic. Love, I swear I hold you there when no one's there, no one to blame but myself for being chained down to hell. So reach your hand down on me and let your grace set me free so I can rise above, where I can look down at the cold town, weeping for the awful sound, yeah, of a dead man singing.
So, this is KWJUDAS, and it's Gumption City Radio. And Ben said that he had possibly another little story that actually happened to him, correct?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I could probably think I have one maybe loaded up too. So go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
If
All
it's
right.
cool.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, this one's definitely less intense, but it's one of those where you see something out in the woods at night, you know,
Right.
and you just can't explain what it was. But Boy Scouts camp out somewhere down south, I think around Moab, so there was like little pockets of trees, but lots of sand.
Right.
And we were playing a game that we called Stealth, where you go out and hide, and then you have to sneak back to the fire pit without getting caught. One person stays at the fire pit, the other goes looking for people hiding. Super fun game.
Sounds fun.
Anyways, so while I was out hiding, there was decent moonlight out, and so you can see like the sand and the sand dunes in the background. But we were amongst a bunch of like little thickets of trees where I was hiding, and I looked over because I didn't know where everybody else was hiding, and I saw 3 little figures run across the sand road. Just 3 shadow figures, but they were obviously like, I could see arms and legs running, you know, and then jump
Word.
into the trees. I just thought
Oh, crazy.
it was the other scouts, you know, running across and hiding in that tree. Anyway, so this game takes a while because you gotta have some patience to get in. But when I got back in, and we were all around the campfire laughing and, you know, talking about our different strategies, like, oh, I got caught over there, you know. I was like, yeah, that was a good move. Like, was that you guys back there hitting that thicket when so-and-so was coming over to that area? And nobody was ever over there. They were on, like, the complete opposite side of the fire pit. And just ever since then, I have no idea what those 3 little figures were.
Huh. That's pretty crazy.
It's wild.
Uh-huh.
Did you say you had
That would be a
story?
little unnerving.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For real. I mean, if you guys like looked into the ranch stuff at all? Oh,
This is
again. Hello.
okay. Sounds good now.
Anyway, the Skinwalker Ranch stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely read up on that a little bit.
All right. Then you probably know what I'm gonna say, but
There's a lot of Skinwalker Ranch shit,
Yeah.
though.
Oh, yeah.
one of my favorites was just I can't remember the whole reason why they did it, but they went out pretty much past the ranch boundary, and because they were looking for cows at the same time, because cows just kind of wander off and you gotta go wrangle them.
Right.
It's kind of the pain in the shit, or pain in the ass.
It's a real pain in the shit, dude.
Uh-huh.
It's a real pain in the shit. But they put out, it's just like a weird experiment. They had 4 cameras pointing at each other. And they were recording for hours and hours and hours and just trying to see if they could find something, like any sort of sign. And then all of a sudden, all 4 cameras just go out like a light. No feed, they can't see anything, so they go out to investigate, and all the cameras have been knocked over on like the same side, and they had their guts ripped out, like just the wires and stuff, and every camera had the same cut wire, like it was like it knew how to you know, cut wires.
It
Know
knew what
exactly
wire to
which-
cut, yeah.
Knew which wire to
It knew how to properly disable those cameras.
Yeah, and it's just
At simultaneously
at
too.
the
You're saying
exact same time.
that's weird.
Every single feed that they had for each camera went out at the exact same time.
That's
Like,
fucking
almost
weird.
down to the millisecond.
Well, we got enough time for the cartoon, which we're going to get into, and then we're going to have a live performance from Matt Anderson. Thank you all for listening. Stick around. Hey, little Larleth. Oh, hey, fat kid. What's new? Oh, not much. I just got my allowance today. 1 whole bright and shiny nickel. A whole bright and shiny nickel. You know how much jabberchonky you can get with that? I'm not sure. Of course, if you're getting jabberchonky, you gotta get it flabbernated to the gaunch handle by old man Boonskitty down by the creek. I see. And you know he'll be nakeder than a jaybird in June when the swaddle's half down. Well, I didn't think it were possible, but I think it's safe to say you're making less sense than even Derpage Guy. Hog fritters, you crazy as grickle grass. Everyone knows Derpage Guy ain't real. Yeah, I've often wondered that too, but he seems so real. Just take that shiny old nickel of yours, 3 half-dead cats, and a wad of manchonka down to the first crossroads you see from Sheboygan Street and throw it over your left shoulder. Gets rid of hiccups and annoying voices in your head. Once again, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Well, you know, if it don't say Derpin, it probably ain't Derpage. And now, a live performance from Matt Anderson.
Filling up a bookshelf of empty shelves, screaming to the deaf becomes a silent yell. Apologize and repent till it becomes wear. Sacrifice your life for that life to bear. Gleeful aphrodisiac of children's tears, growing up fearing and hating my peers. Everyone says you're so beyond your years, you misfit the mold in order to subdue your fears, and you sell your soul of the pie. It's one hell of a hill for you to die, and our
We'd like to thank you for spending your evening with us on yet another explorative tale on KWJUDAS Gumption City Radio. We now turn you back to our regularly scheduled Gumption City programming.